Okay, well that's worrying. Ominous. Hello, and welcome to Call to Teen Dice Let's Plays. I am Bloodied, and welcome to episode 4 of Scarlet Hollow. As you can see from that bit of the intro there, looks like things are really ramping up. So this actually came out yesterday, so this is very hot off the presses. Let's get going. Okay, the decision you made in episode 3 bears heavy physical consequences, and a visual reminder of these consequences will follow you for the rest of the game. You can reduce the intensity of this visual reminder or remove it entirely at any point in the preferences. Okay, so there'll be some kind of filter. You don't see a recap for starting episode 4. Yes, just a recap of episode 3. I know it wasn't too long ago, but I like these little recaps. There are 2 of them now. What happened to your glass house?
I saw a squatter move in. Kick Dustin Mum out.
Oh, asshole squatter. As you're ready to leave, Jamie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Bloodied, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. That's a weird way to phrase it. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Bloodied, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Bloodied, aren't you? My name's Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy.
You keep bringing Jello. I love it here. But Dad, I miss you.
When are you coming back? And this is just Snoopy to make sure your living situation's all squared away. And I'll come get you, Rosa. Just a few more hours. Hey, is that? Oscar practically jumps out of his skin as he turns and sees you. Oh, hey, Bloodied, I didn't hear you come in. Oh, fucking Mayor Jimmy! He's a dog. You can tell this dog's the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. I talked to the asshole. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Bloodied? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. Didn't cover the fact he can also talk to animals. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all their time confined to his studios. Discarded canvases line its edges while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. Little intense, and overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, yourself's comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kaninka anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. Oh, you're thinking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week? Well, Bloodied is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Hey, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're capable of, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I am an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends up. He stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. He's... Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. I didn't see the mysterious door that wouldn't take no for an answer. Hey, you're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexis is going to keep her company while we hopefully get this sorted out. Hey, but not too late if I miss any creepy paranormal stuff. Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. I'm going for it. Oh yeah, this fucking thing. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. There you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? And absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders. The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Forfeit your years, and I will finally leave. A smell hits you, that now familiar wet, unwell odor. What an annoying pest you are, but you couldn't keep me out for long. Seems we've exhausted its power. Holding all these bodies hostage must have been quite taxing. Come along, Bloodied. It's desperate, but it has no power over you. There's no need to bow to the will of such a frayed and broken consciousness. Leave it to fester. Stop. Don't do this! Wayne is cut off as you are brought face to face with the Resonant. Sorry, Bloodied. I didn't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay? He hurries off down the road. Bloodied, why don't you swing by the tea room tomorrow, say early afternoon? I'd love to chat for a little while. Come by any time. I'll be there all day. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest at the expense of unknown years of your life. The spectre of the night's events will linger over you for every day you have left, a grim reminder of the price you willingly paid for the crimes of a family you never met. Maybe it'll be easier in the morning. Maybe your joints will ache just a little less than they do now. Maybe you can still right the capsized ship of your now broken life. Or maybe things will only get worse from here. Wake up. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Yes, it is. And you feel like shit. You were hoping some of your strength would return to you after a good night's sleep, but you feel just as drained as when you dug yourself out of that shallow grave. Your limbs are heavy, and your heart struggles to keep up with your movements. You feel like you've lost something that was important to you. Okay. Maybe it was worth it. Who knows what would have happened had you left it behind to fester? Then again, who knows what will happen to you now that you've lost a part of yourself? An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hey, just wanted to check in. Hope you're doing okay, heart. Also wanted to ask if you've heard from Stella? You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Let's go with hey, you good. Hey, you good? You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. Everyone had a rough night. She's probably still shaken up. Yeah, but I don't know that she's out there somewhere by herself, considering all the shit that's been going down. We should look for her, right? And come to town. We should stick together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Closet. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Let's go visit Dustin's mom. You open the drawers. They both have a bread now. Everybody's back! Smell old now. Maybe changed mind about eating us? Would be the end of Dustin and Dustin Mom. I would never eat you. I love you. Dustin Mom know better than to trust. When push comes to shove, survival more important than friendship. Dustin Mom spent too much time outside. It's different inside. There's enough bread for everyone here. No need eat friends. Dustin still have childhood innocence. Hope Dustin get to keep that innocence forever. I didn't. My line. Did I just say? Guess the glass house still has the asshole squatter. Tried to reclaim glass house last night, but asshole squatter too big and strong. Dustin Mom stand no chance. Might have to live in Dustin house forever. Woman big and strong too. Probably more big and strong than asshole squatter. No fight. Give Dustin Mom glass house back. Fight someone or fight something? I'll see what I can do. Okay, why did... Oh, okay, maybe that must have just been a slight bug. Squatter have sharp things on head. Human be careful, but Dustin Mom would be eternally grateful to human. Dustin too. I should get going. Okay. I love them so much. That's that. Take a shower. You might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The hot water soothes your aching joints. Despite the state of the bathroom, this shower is a good place. As it rinses your body clean, you... Okay. You got the big door that wouldn't shut up. The better of another death. You got the afterlife. Actually, yeah, I probably would think about the afterlife. Think about the afterlife. About the afterlife. It's undeniably real at this point, and what you've seen is terrifying. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Head downstairs. It's time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They're striking. This week of all weeks, as if I didn't have enough on my plate already. Okay, given what is going on in Britain right now, this is timely. Okay, there's a lot of options there. I mean, do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. I mean, usually I'm pro-union, but... Oh, I've backed myself into a corner here. I don't really like any of these options. They care about the mine doing well. I mean, it's the backbone of this whole town. You'd think, but some people are just short-sighted like that. They didn't realise they're biting the hand that feeds them, but they will soon enough. You're in a really difficult spot right now. Gee, I hadn't noticed. Hopefully it'll all be over soon. Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her. No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. She tends to just disappear every now and then. It's tough, she'll be able to take care of herself. I didn't think making a deal with a ghost would feel so physically bad. What was making a metaphorical trade? What are you trying to accomplish here? If you really lost years of your life to a ghost, you have no one to blame but yourself for making a bad deal. Just goes and makes a deal with an angry ghost. Why would anyone do something like that? So, ghosts are real. Still can't get over that. Delving into the ghost story, I really don't have time to indulge your little bit. Oh, thanks. Remain silent. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe, no more hijinks. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay? Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Talk to Frou-Frou. You walk over to the cat. Oh, c'est toi. Qui est-ce que tu veux maintenant? Okay, now the cat is actually speaking in French. It's been a long time since I did GCSE French. Wait, there is something different about you. Has the years finally caught up to you? You know anything about the stone carvings scattered around town? I am not here to be your comment dit-on, cher detective. Je suis un chat. I am here to watch you flail about in the darkness. I'm not here to provide answers to whatever mysteries confront your feeble American mind. I made a deal with the ghost, so I'm old now. Yeah, every day that we open our eyes, we are making a deal with life. All of us are stones on the shore, withered a little more each day by the relentless tides of time. We will all be ground to dust by an uncaring universe, but that is the beauty of life. Will you ever let me pet you? And cut my fur with your disgusting human oils? No. Bye, Frou-Frou. Good talk. She scoffs at you as you turn away. Okay, I probably should have stuck with not doing the French accent, but, you know, I like doing the French accent. I like doing silly accents. It's fun. I don't have my own accent. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get a chance to eat, and who knows just how much of your new affliction will affect your appetite. Make yourself a jelly sandwich in anticipation of a long day ahead. And that's that. Right, let's see about this squatter. Whatever kicked Dustin's mum out's in the garden right now. Better look into it before you head into town. The air is chilly today, the overcast sky hanging oppressively over the weed-choked flower beds. Investigate the greenhouse. You start carefully picking your way through the underbrush. It doesn't take much effort to find a path. Cuttings of prickly raspberry bushes and tangled vines litter the ground around the greenhouse. The glass house, one could say. You step towards the door. Oh my god, it's a goat. It's shielded shut by a lock, and you catch a brief glimpse of a horned shadow through the ancient clouded glass. I'm going to talk to whatever's behind the door. What's your name, little guy? Gert. What are you doing in the greenhouse? Woman put me here. Can't complain. Pretty sweet digs, honestly. Stays nice and warm, and there's plenty of eats too. Did that human have a brown coat and big boots? Got like what, fur? Nah, not brown fur. No fur. Just on the top, like all you humans. Don't know what boots are. Can't help you there. Where did you come from? Used to live with other guys like me. And I miss them, but not that much. Don't got to share anymore. And in the lock. Examine the lock. It looks sturdy. You'll need some tools if you're going to get this open. Maybe Stella or Kanika could lend a hand later. Okay, guess I'll leave you to it then. Ew, or not. It's a wild world out there. Get the garden. Stella's missing. It's best not to keep Kanika waiting for too much longer. Head to town. It's time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The birds sound different today. Muffled, like your ears are full of cotton, the dull sun shines down on the surrounding wilderness, seeming to wash the colour from the world. But you're adjusting. Already, your body is starting to accept the change that has come over it, to accept that this is how things will be from here on out. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. Doop doop. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming to see you. Hope you're able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. They didn't say anything about your appearance, but you can see them take you in, the light of day revealing your new features clearly for the first time. They smile. Clearly they like what they see. Oh, I'm a silver fox now. Nice. You, doing okay? I'll just go with the hot answer. The ghost may have stolen my youthful good looks, but it can't take my hotness. My bone structure could never be laying low by mere aging. You got that right. It doesn't kill you, it makes you hotter, right? There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to study the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny while I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Sherpay faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but like, are they dangerous? They're not gonna eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? I'd rather not find out. Does anyone in town have a flamethrower? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Julius had one lying around. Hopefully we won't have to ask him for it. I'm not that worried. Yet. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that was just awesome. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. How are you... Yeah, are you doing okay after last night? I'm great. With something like possession, it kind of feels like there are more upsides than downsides. There aren't a lot of people out there who can say they've been through something like that. It's a pretty cool badge of honor as far as I'm concerned. Tanika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. You want to come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'm coming in late today, so I've got time. Don't know how much time though. From what I saw this morning, the diner's hopping. Absolutely packed with miners. Must be using it as home base for the strike. Oh, by the way, there's a strike going on? I'm sure you already know that though. I have to mention Tabitha, but I told you this morning. Let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. Avery is hot, but I'm saving my flirting for Oscar. DILF. You and Avery start back down the path to town. It isn't long till you find yourself once again on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Bloodied, you made it, and you picked up an Avery along the way. You're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted and super foggy. Mum's been insisting I caught a cold, and I wasn't buying it. As of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. And I'm not going to let it stop me from looking for Stella. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt she actually could. Always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her. Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic thing. A lot's happened in the past couple of days. I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. Can't have all these existential crises. There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. Remain silent. This current's been you take the lead here. Guess we should probably check our house first, right? Let's go. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. Well, I don't know the fucking town, do I? At least a start. Maybe she just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I've gone already, but I was not about doing anything with myself today. In case I ran into yet another horror from beyond the veil or something. You make your way towards Stella's house. Tanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. I'm not from around here. Is it normal for people to leave their doors open like that? I leave my patio door open on occasion, usually when I'm home. But avid squirrels take that as an invitation one too many times and bust in takes a few bites of my plants, so even I keep my doors closed. Bad enough they go after everything in the community garden, but to come to my house and help themselves my precious leafy babies, the squirrels of Scarlet Hollow are my only true enemies. Is now really the time for shtick? Wait, no. Avery's non-binary, so... Man work. I mean, I tend to use man in a non-gendered way, but I really shouldn't. Anyway, enough about my nonsense with language aside. And Stella would definitely know better than to leave her door wide open like this, especially considering the ditchling situation. That's why we invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go in. Cool, I'll be brave and go first. Avery casually steps over the threshold into Stella's house. The living room is almost exactly as you saw it the other day. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything. It happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget that you said that, and just be thankful that this doesn't look like a crime scene. Investigate the kitchen. Oh, she got a little cat sponge holder thing. Oh, the portrait. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple of cabinets hanging open and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Is Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. It's a little messy. If this is a little messy, I don't want to know what you'd call my room. I wasn't judging. There's nothing wrong with a little mess. Or a lot of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house always felt a little sterile to me. It feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. Though, maybe it's just because I've only ever been over when she was already expecting me. It was just a rare peek behind the curtain at the real Stella. The real Stella should call her friends and let them know she's okay. Investigate Stella's room. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. Mothman plushie! It's adorable. She's not here. Although it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. I better not hear a single complaint about this room being messy. Wasn't gonna say anything. Her computer. You gotta check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? I mean, we already broke into her house, right? For all we knew, there could be some sort of clue on there. Like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Stella didn't want us to snoop. She shouldn't have gone missing. I don't make the rules. Okay, look, maybe there's something helpful on there, but this is still way out of my comfort zone. I'll just be over here, standing in the corner, not looking over your shoulder. Please don't, go digging through personal files or anything. But also let me know if you find something important. Or cool. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. Whoa, how do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. I'll just check her open tabs. That's what I'm checking. It would take all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon, a sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. The most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hidden Militia. Hey everyone, was out chasing a skunk ape sign the other day and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Ride of Bigfoot. Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Moth stand. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing is my Google ditchlings is some city in English. Thought you were legit. Lucky stars. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Gary2125479. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I have a ton of extra footage. Look at this nest. They've been doing something to the animals in town, and they're probably some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. Mothstan. He has the touch. He has the power. No, that's Stan Bush. I believe you. Lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. Sick. The thread continues into the next day. Okay, 1, this isn't an ARG, I would never. And 2, you're not going to believe this, but we went to an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file headed tommyknockersreal.wav. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. Thanks, Gary. First name bunch of numbers. 2 supernatural events on back-to-back nights? This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Also, low doughy white things and loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you see how out to Pillsbury? Wow. I'm sorry, just the idea of the Pillsbury Doughboy ARG is, yeah, that's just fantastic. Stop cyberbullying her, I'm gonna call the mods. Blocking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. Call. The thread ends. Oh. Well, Stella, I might never be internet famous. It's when my SoundCloud stays niche and underappreciated until the day I die. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Thank God. I don't think there's any clues here. I don't think so either. This one of them looks like pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. I could use a few of my houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. Oh, she still does this corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. They don't actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. Okay, I don't think we're going to find much else here. Let's move on. Okay, so maybe she came home last night, maybe she didn't, but she's definitely missing. Mom was overreacting this morning. I hoped she was just sleeping in. Can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? Okay. Oscar, Diner, Mines, the church. We should check out the church. The church? Why? I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might be trying to get into all that religious stuff. I mean, worth checking out. I think we've barked up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. I wouldn't mind stocking up some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. It's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. I just talked about the whole thing where he talks to animals, same as me. Kanika leads the way, taking up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. It's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? My, 4 visitors at once on a Thursday. This is unprecedented. But there's only 3 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? What's up, old people? Oh, it's just saying, what are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past few days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I want to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zay. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella? She wandered off last night and no one's seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Jamie had seen her? I can't speak for Jamie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. But I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. What say to him that you can't say in front of us? Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter. That's alright, we can get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. It's okay, I'm happy to talk to him. If you're sure... guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie. We'll be right over there by the fence that's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? See you in a minute. Your friend set off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you came. I bet anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point it must have been the Lord himself, talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I disavowed that pretty early on. Frou-Frou, Gretchen, Pixel? Well, of course I have, but I learned early on in life not to let on that I have this gift. at least while other humans were around, so I haven't spoken with any of them. Though I get the feeling Frou-Frou wouldn't talk to me even if she knew I could understand her. I even tried to befriend the alpacas when I went around. Emphasis on tried. They're surprisingly cliquey. Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one is looking. Are you sure we're actually talking to animals? Now that I know there are at least two of us, I have no doubt. There have definitely been times in my life when I thought I might just be insane. But it's so consistent, and I've never exhibited any other signs of insanity. In my most doubting moments, I had considered the possibility that other entities may be using the animals to confuse my faith, but besides a particularly vicious hamster I had growing up, the most that animals ever tried to convince me to do was give them more food. So I somehow doubt they're puppets for some otherworldly evil. Unless that otherworldly evil wants me to overfeed my pets. Does Amy know? No, I don't believe there should be secrets between man and wife, so I'll have to tell her one day, but there hasn't been a good time yet. Building a life in Scarlet Hollow has been a difficult process, and the last thing I need to do is add to the stress of her husband being some kind of circus act. Tulip, on the other hand, I'm starting to have my suspicions that she might share this gift. There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she may be able to understand them. He's interrupted by the sounds of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight?
I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise.
I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you help Mama with the alpacas? Just about time they were fed. You could give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment there. I've been trying to run off into the woods lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, and it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling hip deep into a mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Oh, Tetanus Lake. Stella told me about it. Tetanus Lake? Oh, that's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip's staying away if I stay away if I started calling it that, or if it would only make it sound more alluring. What were you saying about the church rats? Ah, yes, the rats. So you and I are used to the sort of chatter we hear from wildlife. It's usually nothing needs to be paid attention to. But these rats, there's something so sinister about them. And they must be huge, judging by the sound of them scurrying around in there. Tulip's never shown evidence of the ability before. He's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversation with birds. In retrospect, she'd been hiding it the way I did growing up. Because I know she's been talking to the rats. She calls them her friends, has been drawing all these pictures of them. Really ghastly things. I tried to bring it up with her. She gets just a little smile and doesn't say a word, like it's a fun little secret. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in that trash heap, and ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. I'm concerned she's going to get hurt or get some kind of disease. What have they been saying? They like to try and goad me into crying or becoming depressed. They watch me through unseen holes, make fun of me, and try to figure out how to press my buttons. It's annoying, but easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying. I don't think they're a good influence on Tulip, though. She's gotten quiet and secretive ever since she started talking to them. I hate to think what they say to her when I'm not around to hear. Have you actually seen them? No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dorm that had rats once. You never see them, but the church had all the signs of an infestation, and there's no mistaking the sound of little creatures stampeding through the walls. I left out some humane rat traps, but they're too smart for them. So this waste peanut butter. And I caught a possum in them, poor thing. Possums aren't very bright, but at least he had a nice big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal. Are you sure they're rats? I think so. The pastor shifts uncomfortably for a moment. I hope so. Is there anything I can do to help? Maybe I can try talking to them? That would be lovely. I'd certainly appreciate a helping hand here. I don't want to be too much of a bother, and you should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Cliques and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie said she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Bloodied. Gotta feed the alpacas. So cute and soft, it was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by for the diner with cookies for the miners. Oh no, the extra for me, of course. Hope your talk with the pastor went well? I guess we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best of circumstances. I'll let you all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Well, if Big G, the Rock will get upset. Right, thanks. See ya. Cliques and Avery start back down the path to town, and you follow. So, what's that about? He's pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? Easy, aren't you? Let the man have his privacy. Okay, as long as it didn't have anything to do with Stella or ghosts, there's no harm keeping it a secret. I just want to make sure that Avery said he wasn't bad weird. Let's not get too distracted till we find Stella, though. Where to next? Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Face into concrete there. Maybe I'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Let's have been willing to try to rip me to clocking in early. Feels like you walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. What's going on? That was a strike up at the mines. They made the diner their base of operations. When you asked for a morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing and I'm helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now. And I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her? I hope not. We're not interrupting anything here, are we? Of course not. Any paying customers welcome. You can go step on anybody's toes or cause a fuss. The miners in back are too engaged in conversation to notice you enter. Instead of speaking hospitalities, argue with each other loudly enough that you can easily overhear. Sure, the schedules are tough, and sure we don't have enough time for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or two into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck. I get it. But the next thing you know, you lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every few seconds it can suck out of its workers, and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out. Well, that sounds like working for Boots the Chemist. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. This job still has its perks. Company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I'd live if I didn't have this job. Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing excuse to pay us less, and the company housing, that means almost nobody in the whole damn town owns the place they live. That's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have all the numbers if you all stood with me and not let management scare tactics get to you. It's not scare tactics. People like her now. The woman ran into a collapsing mine. Gold miner saved 3 kids from being buried alive. I feel you, I really do, but how are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero? You trying to tell me that a mine collapsing less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's a bad time, Zax. It's always a bad time, Baker. Doesn't matter whose name's on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got 'em against the ropes. We can't back down now, or they'll come out swinging. Hi, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miner sent towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. I guess we should get going. Not getting involved in that strike situation, because I'm family and it would be very weird. You turn and leave the diner, Avery and Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Before you can suggest your next move, you start to feel woozy. Spots form at the ridges of your vision. Your legs suddenly feel unstable, your body sending you clear signals of exhaustion. And then it passes. Still, it probably won't be long before your body needs a chance to rest. You should plan your next move wisely. Okay, this is telling you I don't have many more choices, so it's the mines, Oscar, cops. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart, maybe he'll know what to do. I hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. So blamed for sleeping into the house after everything we went through. I'll sleep in the woods with the ditchlings in some place that was that salted. Mum said it's safe, and I'm inclined to believe her. How would she lie? But how would she know that? Magic, probably. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, the library once again is a place of comfort, all menaces having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I'm not up for an encore. Yeah, it's gone, just like your mum said it would be. You can't help but overhear the murmurings of an intense conversation coming from the mayor's office. Or rather, the murmurings of an intense animal conversation. Ooh, wait, you summoned you upstairs towards the mayor's office. Hey, where are you going? A small group of dogs holds court in the mayor's office. Most of the dogs quietly watch from the sidelines, but two of them, a sheepdog and a basset hound, are in heated conversation with Mayor Jimmy. Their tags read Scraps and Daisy. It sounds like you've all sorted this out. I don't see what you need me to do about any of it. Solid? Things ain't solid till this town is safe. Now we may have got the beginnings of a militia forming, but there's plenty of pets out there who are still ill-informed about these things crawling out of the woods. You're the mayor, they'll listen to you. Just tell them to stay inside until it's handled. Listen, Scraps, buddy, I hear you, but the last thing we need right now is anarchy in the streets. It's no use, I told you he's bullheaded. He's always bullheaded. All is a sore loser, aren't we, Daisy? Things are fine, nothing but he has to worry about a thing. The mayor pulls himself away from the conversation to acknowledge you. Oh, I remember you. We all got out of town from yesterday. The speaker. The other dogs murmur amongst themselves for a moment, then turn to face you. I'm sorry I'd see this little display. Politics can get so messy. Have any of you seen or smelled Gretchen? She and her person are missing. She missing? Oh dear Scraps, you don't think. Gretchen's person would never have let that happen to her. Wherever she is, I'm sure she's safe from those things. A dog like her doesn't get to be that age without a watchful human at her side. Even if she's safe, I don't like the sound of this. See, Jimmy, this is the cost of inaction. Gretchen is a pillar of our community, and she's missing. What will it take for you to finally open your eyes and do something? If you wait until you're the last dog left in Scarlet Hollow, it'll be far too late to save yourself. Yes, I get it, you're all very upset. What are you to do about it? Shut down the town? What about economy? Do you even know what economy is, Jimmy? Or are you just throwing around fancy words you've heard the humans say? Of course I know what economy is. I know all about economyism. Oh good, because I could never understand a lick of it when the humans talk about economy. I just think it was a made-up word they yell at each other when they want to stop talking. So, please, enlighten us. I'm not going to debase myself by playing a game of trivia. Not in front of the speaker. I thought so. To answer your question, we did catch a whiff right around here, and another near her house. I haven't picked up anything around town since then. Let's hope those creatures haven't already gotten to her. Can you help us find her? You've got better noses for this sort of thing. We'll do our best. I don't intend to make any more trips out into the woods, but if it's for Gretchen, we'll take that risk. She's a well-liked dog in these parts, been around longer than any of us. It'd be a blow to the community for her to fall victim to those monstrosities. I'll leave you all to it. I told you the waste of time, Scraps. I should have listened to you. Let's go, shall we? Excellent. Officers, push it over. Do close the door behind you. I'm overdue for my appointment with a nap. You and the dogs exit the mayor's office and close the door behind you. They quickly turn a corner and vanish from your line of sight. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you in the lobby. I took a peek in there. I just had a full conversation with those dogs. It is so weird when you do that. Does this sort of thing happen a lot with Bloodied? Yeah, it takes some getting used to. Last night, it took a whole lot more than Bloodied to have a conversation with a gang of dogs to faze me. I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally managed to unhaunt my house. I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted. Like what? Steal books? I mean, they could, right? Not that anyone would. Just saying the people in this town trust each other. A lot. It's nice. Let's go find Oscar. Or your local libraries, folks. You make your way back towards the annex. Feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. This hallway really takes me back. It was like yesterday we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever. It was only yesterday. I know. Kanika knocks on the door. Damn it, Avery, stop doing shtick. Oh, good morning. So good to see all of you. Bloodied. He takes in the sight of you standing in the bright corridor. I hope you're doing well this morning. Please, come on in. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5, but you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. More than most people have to deal with in their whole lives, and here you are, taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanour vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I assume we have visitors. But her glare vanishes when she takes in your new visage. Her features soften into a look of shock and concern. Mr. Gutierrez told me about what happened last night, and I must admit I found it hard to believe. But your face... It definitely looks like you've had years stolen from you, whatever that means. Concerning. I'd like to give you a physical. Oh, okay. Glad you're taking this seriously. I'll be at the clinic all day. Feel free to stop by when you get the chance. Her examination finished, Dr. Kelly returns to Rosalina's side. Have any of you seen Stella since last night? Not since dinner. You haven't gotten in touch with any of you? It's time to freak out a little. I don't care about her and she's just gone. It's okay, Bloodied. We're going to find her. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. My fault, isn't it? I should have done a better job warning her. Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. Besides, you didn't know how bad it was going to get. Don't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but Sometimes that's just not be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina's always saying. I suppose I do apologize more than I should. You really do. I don't remember who the fuck Reese is. I completely forgot who Reese is. How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to this sort of thing. Just needs a couple of days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement. Not even a movie. I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly. Remain silent. How you doing, Rosalina? Tired. My leg hurts a lot. Medicine's helping, so it's not so bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Bloodied. Can't believe you got any sleep last night after all that ghost stuff. I sat on the couch with the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I only needed some rest after, the hospital and my foot. Your body's desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So, what are you not going to do today? Anything? That's right. Stay right here. No walking around. No investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her. I take full responsibility. As her father, I should have. No need for anyone to step in to take blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sitting at home at all. It's gross negligence, if you ask me. But give it time, and you can do all the activities you want. Alright, Rosalina? You remain silent. So, you've got your meds, you've got your nest of pillows, a helpful friend by your side, and a cat to keep you company. Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today. I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly. Yes, thanks again for coming down to see us, Joan. Not a problem. I'd much rather she stay put than have to get in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is as eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Don't worry, Doc. I'll keep her warm. I'm helping. Dr. Kelly turns toward you again, her usual glare absent. And I hope you'll take me up on my offer, Bloodied. I'm concerned about you. And then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house. We'll let you kids have some space, Alexis. Why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina? Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I bought some video games and puzzles from my house, and some movies too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina. Oh, bless. Oscar ushers you down back to the library. What's up? Is everything okay? Yes, everything's fine. At least much better than yesterday. Can't thank you enough, Bloodied. I'd like to be as helpful as I can from here on out. Now that the situation is dealt with, I finally have time to dig into the town's archives. My house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapsed the other night was the site of a mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is assuming there's going to be a next crisis. Something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. We should compare notes. Not that I need to start with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save a lot of time. I don't think we actually know that much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. I feel that there must have been some inciting event, since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight. What that inciting event was, or where to start looking for it, I have no idea, but it's something to keep in mind. Avery stares at you. It's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Bloodied got here. Kanika shoots Avery a glare. No, we are not throwing Bloodied under the bus. What? There's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Sure, there's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shore him. No one's going to drag Bloodied into a witch hunt on my watch. I'd like to think we've outdone the days of running people out of towns on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, just gonna run it around running around town telling everyone Bloodied magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there's a catalyst for this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, are you getting into terrorism the only major event that happens lately? Pearl Ann died over a week ago. Most creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time he got to town. Not to mention, I started seeing things in the house before Pearl Ann passed, I think. I never thought anyone knew exactly when the spirit made itself known. If there's a root cause for all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm doing my best to find out if there's been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. I think there's something in the clinic. There was this door yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it. Right, I've almost forgotten after everything that happened yesterday. You said there was something there that reminded you of the mines, right? Let's see. I'll dig up what I can on the clinic. A little history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something haunting that place as well. You have a friend that lives there, right? Should we tell him that something bad might happen in his house? I want to stay someplace else for now, if the last few nights are any indication. Yeah, I can shoot Reese a warning text, but I don't know if his mom will let him leave. He's got an iron grip on the poor dude. She's probably more of a skeptic than I am. It was. It's a shame she preemptively shot down on movie night. Would have been the perfect cover. What are you talking about? You already have an open invitation to visit at this point. You don't need to use a movie night as cover. He has an open invitation for a physical. I don't think Dr. Kelly's going to be too appreciative of that turning into an investigation. We should be more cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? We've been finding these weird stone seals. There was one in the mines and another in your basement. There might be more. Those are those carvings you mentioned last night, right? I think there was something that happened on my house all this time. I think someone must have put it there. But who? This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Bloodied. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you were right yesterday, Bloodied. What if there really is not one of those carvings in the clinic? Soon? On Dr. Kelly? Well, she may have believed us about last night, but I don't know how receptive she'll be if we told her there might be ghosts in her house. Even if she believed us, she's stubborn. It might be a good idea to take Dr. Kelly up on her offer to do a physical blow. Give you a chance to look around for anything out of the ordinary. And it's probably a good idea for your health, too. Have a carving right here. Maybe studying it can give us some new leads? Not a chance. I know the ghost has probably gone for good, but that thing is evil. And if there's even the slightest chance of going back down the trick of something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more. My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with. No arguments here. This could all be the work of some sort of cult. You mentioned something like this at the library the other day. If there's a cult in Scarlet Hollow, I feel like I know about it. I don't know, I'm just throwing things out here. It's not all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there was some cult that ran the place. I've got to agree with Kanika on this. I feel like I've picked up on something. Cult doesn't necessarily have to run the town to have an impact here. Doesn't even need to be active. I want to gather those carvings you've been talking about are old. Whoever left them's probably long gone. I'll see what I can find. You never know. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. You pause before leaving, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say to Oscar, you should say it now, before you leave. Oscar, could I talk to you in private for a minute? Good. Sure, I can spare a minute. It's a nice little spot around the corner. Have fun being secretive, you two. We'll just hang back here and totally not listen at all. Promise. I see your wink, Avery. Avery, I can see you winking. You follow Oscar to a quiet space by the edge of the woods. Oh, I thought it was literally around the corner of that room. Well, you said after the haunting yesterday? I'd be lying if I said I hadn't been thinking about it. This isn't... Yes, let's go for a hug. Hug-a-roo. This isn't the time for words. The world has been falling apart around you and Oscar since the moment you met. You only have so many more days before the bus rolls into town to ferry you back to the real world. You reach forward and pull Oscar into your arms. He doesn't hesitate before reciprocating, the two of you wrapping each other in a warm, comforting embrace. He smells wonderful, like coffee and wool, the fabric of his sweater soft against your face. You can feel how strong he is, his hefty arms drawing you in, pressing you against his broad chest. You melt into him, feeling small and protected. Neither of you pulls away, and the beautiful moment lasts just long enough that both of you know it's more than just a hug between friends. But finally, like all things, it does end, and Oscar lets go, his hands lingering on the small of your back for a second too long, reluctant to fully separate from you. But he straightens up, arms returning to his sides. His voice is light-hearted, and you can see a slight blush in his cheeks as he readjusts his glasses. Was that you comforting me, or me comforting you? Both, of course. It's been a long week. We could all use a little comfort from the people we care about. Do you care about me? Oscar's pink cheeks blossom into a blustery red. I care about you too. And you're right. I needed that. It's funny. We spent so little time together, but we somehow managed to leave a permanent mark on each other's lives. You followed my daughter into the pit of a collapsing mine to help her save her friends. Oscar pauses, pulling back his glasses to wipe a tear from his eyes. He's going to struggle physically for the rest of her life. And while I wish I could have stopped that from happening, she is alive. You're probably the only reason that's true. And then last night, you were tormented and trapped in a hell dimension because of something you don't even know happened, that you had nothing to do with, or because I couldn't handle it on my own. You got our house back. We have a place to call home again, and I still have a job because you took on an unthinkable burden you don't deserve to bear. I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. You're the kind of person I want to be. Wrote dialogue options marked romance. We'll start a romantic arc with the character you're talking in, and we'll lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. Can't stop thinking about you either. Then we should do something about that. Now, probably isn't the best time with Stella missing, but maybe tomorrow we could go on a proper date and actually get to know each other. A dialogue up to smart break will end a romance arc. Do not do that. Smile. You smile. You'd love to go to Dream Daddy! Ah! This is a dating sim, right? Yes, it is now. You smile. You'd love to go on a date, but you don't want to use your words to express that. I guess I'll take that as a yes. Or a maybe. I better get back to my daughter, and you'd better get back to looking for Stella. Tomorrow, He pulls out a scrap of paper and scribbles something on it before handing it to you. Here's my number. Text me any time. I'll be around, and assuming things have settled down a bit, maybe we can grab coffee at the diner and actually get to know each other. And hopefully by then I'll have found something that can help with the whole town-wide mystery situation. Excited squealing sounds. Oscar leaves, and you rejoin Kanika and Avery outside of the library. You look happy. I'm glad you and Oscar had the chance to talk about things. Let's stay focused, though. We still have to find our friend. It probably wouldn't hurt to check out the clinic after we found her. I'm worried about Reese. I don't know if you get a check-up either. As you consider your next move, your vision blurs again. This time it persists. The weakness in your knees returns, your ears filling with static, and you can feel yourself swaying, unable to control your body. Seems the toll of the pact you made last night is finally catching up with you. Whoa, you don't look too good. Your body crumples to the ground. Oh shit! The general store's just around the corner. Let's get you inside. The bells of the general store jingle welcomingly as your companions drag you across the threshold. You can faintly make out the unintelligible mumbling of what must be voices, and you fade out once again. You come to in a chair in the tea room. Sybil sits across from you, a gentle smile of relief washing over her face as you regain consciousness. It's dark here, the sunlight filtering through the heavy curtains, weak and watery, partially supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plants in the corner. Welcome back. Just the two of us now, I'm afraid. Avery had to go help out at the diner, and Kanika was getting some much-needed bed rest upstairs. I went ahead and made you some tea, dear. It should help you a bit with your condition. Your eyes drift down to the cup of freshly brewed tea in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with undertones of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. I don't expect to change your grey hairs back, but at the very least it should make it easier for your mind and spirit to adjust to some of the physical changes you've gone through. Hopefully you'll be a little less exhausted and a little less prone to passing out. And when you're finished, we can use the leaves for a reading. On the house, of course. Until then, why don't we just chat? So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Well, my family's been in these hills a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, but not one most folks could afford. They need to figure out their own medicine. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mum's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Belhan was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, but her family choosing her as their punching bag made her quite the rebel. Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, and neither did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? Well, I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. My husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart. This is forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenaged fling, but then once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. What happened when my mum found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. Like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Well, the Scarlets weren't particularly religious, as far as I knew. But by the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It always had me wondering what it is about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. Drink the tea. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, greatly replaced with the earthiness at its core. You've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavours with something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. The tea is gone before you know it, small cup empty save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Sybil wasn't lying when she said it would help your condition. You still feel aged and worn, but you're a little less tired, and a little mentally sharper than you were a few minutes ago. Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. Do some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Toss, petal, hourglass. All these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something's coming. Whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. There's a central figure here. Cat. An enemy lurking in plain sight. That's interesting. Is it Tabitha? Is it Wayne? Is it Stella? Is it Kanika? Is it Oscar? Is it Reese? Is it Avery? Is it Dr. Kelly? No, Dr. Kelly's too obvious. Okay. The cat can be... No, I am not accusing Dustin. Dustin Daniel? Oh, that's a tough call here. I'm going to have to make a decision on this. I think it's Avery. Don't think it's Reese. Don't think it's Oscar. Don't think it's Kanika. Don't think it's Stella. I mean... that could be Tabitha? She brought me all the way out here, but she's constantly pushing me away. Like she doesn't even want me around. Interesting. It could be she has some ulterior motive for inviting you all the way out here. I don't know what it could be, but just be on your guard. Be suspicious of anything she asks you to do. It's clear something bad is coming your way, and I suppose for a second that you're right, and it's possibly connected to your cousin. Knowing this means we can try to counteract whatever she might have planned for you. From what Tabitha said, seems to want you to stay put and stop snooping around. Sounds to me she's trying to keep you from finding something. Judging what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Possible Tabitha doesn't want you finding more of them. Maybe she doesn't want you to see any more visions about what your family has done. You don't know if she's just about protecting the Scarlet legacy, or if there's something even more sinister at play, and finding more of them could be vital to protecting yourself from her. Do you sense any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. I think I felt another in the clinic. That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, that could give you a leg up on Tabitha. Especially if you don't let her know what you're up to. I'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. I think it's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation's been illuminating. You'd have just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. Thanks. Well, if I find anything, glad to hear it. I hope all goes well and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humouring the old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. But are you the cat? I'm not going to accuse you to your face, but you know. Sybil closes the door to the tea room, the bells of its store strangely flat in the stale air of the near-empty general store. Checking on Kanika. Not coming anywhere before checking on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Oh, Bloodied, what's up? I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you'd join me. Oh, some people checking with Reese sometime today. I want to ask if he knows anything about Stella, and he was okay after what happened at dinner. Screw this, why do I even listen to my mum in the first place? I don't need to sit around in my room just because she said to. Am I going for a sec while I get ready? We hear frantic crumpling and clinking and shuffling as she tidies her room. Okay, come on in. Nika's room is the sort of place that's stuck between the past and the present. Faded stickers from her childhood line her bookshelf, and boxes of packed belongings sit in the corners of rooms. Is that bats? Oh, bugs. Bugs. Yeah, bugs, fair. I don't hear people over. Don't judge me too harshly for the state of the place. Looking for something? You motion to the stack of cardboard boxes. That's all my stuff from college. Never really unpacked. Seemed like a waste of time to unload everything. It's staying here long term, so I just have to pack it up again eventually. Unless I did move back in over a year ago, so these boxes have just been sitting here and opened for a long time. What's that? Oh, Parasite, the manga. And what is that? I don't know what that is. Sorry, the box there. I'm leaning it towards the screen to try and read it clear, and I can't. Looks like... that's another anime thing. More anime things. The Parasite I recognise, but the rest of it, I don't. I've never even read it, I just know of it. Anyway, back to this actual dialogue. But any day now, I'll load them back into the van and get out of town. Any day now. Let's get to the clinic. Yeah, let's do it. Two of you make your way back out into the hallway. But before you can make it to the stairs, a light turns on, startling both of you. I thought you were going to get some rest, Kanika. You should really get back to bed. This cold of yours will only get worse. But I still have a lot of energy. I don't feel like sitting around. I don't think I need to. Of course you do. I know you best, and you haven't been yourself the past few days. All this running around has been a detriment to your health. As I want to see you stay healthy. You hold this family together. You shouldn't get between a mother and her daughter. Sybil knows what's best here, and Kanika is more than capable of speaking for herself. Remain silent. You remain silent. Kanika sighs. I'm sorry, Mom. I know I've been neglecting the general store. I let Miles run off the other day. It was so irresponsible of me. That's all right, Kanika. You could have gotten hurt, but you didn't, and it seems like you learned a valuable lesson from the experience. Now, let's get you to bed. Need another day to recover, that you can get back to all this town's mystery business. Indeed, you'll be fine without her until tomorrow. My mum's right, Bloodied. You can go on without me. Okay, this is creepy. See you later, okay? Or you can utter another word. Tanika returns to her room. Bull's eyes carefully watch you as you leave and you make your way back to Main Street alone. Okay, I don't trust you. I do not trust you at all. You make your way up the familiar hill past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before you find yourself outside Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. Like a magnet has been fixed to your rib cage, slowly tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. It's time for your checkup. Off in Reese's basement. Oh, cunning. Small talked animals. Okay. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of a striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there. If you were trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you do it? What? Just because I got little hands, you guys think it's trash, I'm supposed to know how to break into places? There's a hill that'll take you right up that big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave windows open up there and I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like sleeping on their big piles of clothes. It's one of my few joys in life. He leaves. You turn back to look at the clinic. Thank you, Mr. Raccoon. A dull throb sets into your knees. There's no way you're doing that. But you're not shooting up. You used to be quite an over in high school, and back in the day you learned two things. First, the second floor of a residential building is never locked. And two, they still seem to take advantage of that security flaw. No judgmental parents ever managed to get in the way of you and your high school flames. Either way, you have your way in. Knock on Reese's basement windows. Cautiously approach the house, nearly next to the low basement windows of Reese's room. You knock. There's no one in there. Reese must be somewhere else. Darn it. Go see the doctor. You already have an appointment. You might as well just walk into the clinic and see Dr. Kelly. You can figure out the rest of your investigation later. You open the door to the clinic. It creaks loudly on its hinges. The interior feels surprisingly modern compared to the exterior, though you can still glimpse the ornate bones of the building peeking through the decorative moulding and overly complicated banister lining the stairway. You feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. But before it can drag you too far into the clinic, Dr. Kelly puts aside her paperwork and bikes her way down the hall. Her expression is still as exasperated as ever, despite the fact that she's the one who asked you to take time out of your day to come here. You made it. Good. The exam room's just this way. You don't need a doctor's appointment. You need to find whatever's been calling you here. Wait, I felt something pulling at me. I should go find it. The only thing pulling at anyone here is the mystery of what happened to your body that made you look like you aged overnight. The exam room is just your right. The doctor directs you down a hallway and you follow her into the clinic's exam room. It's going to start with some general diagnostics, but I'd also like to do some blood work today, if you're amenable to that. Presses the cold metal of her stethoscope to your chest. The doctor work. You quietly let Dr. Kelly work. Have you always had a heart murmur? No doctor has ever said you had a heart murmur. Before you can answer, she attaches a blood pressure cuff to your arm, inflating it with a few quick pumps of the bulb. Mid ends of your finger tingle numbly as the cuff constricts. I don't know, I don't see doctors often. I hear that one a lot. But I get it, this country doesn't exactly make it easy for people to keep up with their health. I'm glad we caught it, at least. Better for you to know. Yeah, the American healthcare system fucking sucks. I mean, the NHS has its flaws and massive underfunding due to the Tories, because fuck the Tories. But seriously, fuck the American healthcare system, it's fucking stupid. The push on your arm finally releases. Blood rushes back to your fingertips. That is Bloodied's little sermon on the American healthcare system ended for now. Your blood pressure is definitely higher than I expect for someone of your age. It's not what I would call a safe range, but it can be managed. Let me know if you feel any pain. The doctor leans over you, using her forefingers to prod your abdomen. He steadies you with a gentle hand on your shoulder. to know more about the clinic. Well, it's an old hospital during the Civil War. Those clean air clinics. Then around the time of the collapse, it was converted back into a hospital, but it lost most of its funding when people left town, so it's just a doctor's office. With an astronomical heating bill. The massive windows and glass doors make this an icebox in the winter. What happened here after the Shore mine collapsed? I suppose the only thing I know that the average resident of the Hollow might not is that the collapse was the reason this was converted into a proper hospital. The wounded were brought here, where there were beds and medical supplies, and that pushed out the last dregs of the clean air kooks. Nobody thought the air around here was that clean after a coal mine collapse filled it with ash, and the theory was already on its way out at that point. I don't actually know much about the clean air thing. I'm assuming it's sort of a bit like a four humors type thing, where bad smells bad. Hence why Plague Doctor Masks had the potpourri in the end. It sounds like it'll be Ghost City. Ever seen any? No. And neither has Reese, so don't try to wiggle your way into seeing him again under the guise of asking him if he's seen any dead soldiers, or miners, or whatever. Subject. Interested in your thoughts on folks in around town. We really don't need to do small talk. Did you know my mom well? Small talk it is then. I did. We were friends growing up. She was sarcastic but nice. I liked that about her. A lot more pleasant to be around than her sister. What did you think of Pearl Ann? Vivian and I used to joke she was the evil twin. Though I'm not sure you can call it a joke if it's just true. Sorry, I really shouldn't speak ill of the dead. You know, Sybil, well, I know as well as anybody else. She's yet another resident of Scarlet Hollow who should really come see me more often, but she has her own ideas about health. She thinks drinking a gallon of Teardale will grant her immortality. I'm sure I'll be seeing more of her when she realises that's not the case. Do you know any history about my family? Of course I do. Folks around here learn all the important myths about your family. The whole bootstraps thing with Silas, the founding of the town by the almighty Andrew J. Scarlet, and of course the big collapse and the evil Charles Shaw who gets all the blame. Your family's a big deal in this town. Of course I know about them. Not as much as anyone else, though. I'm not really into local history. Continue. You wrote the note to continue in silence. I'd like to take out your lungs. Can you breathe into this for me? Make sure you keep a tight seal on it. Place the mouthpiece against your lips. Now blow out hard and keep going until you're out of air, okay? You do your best. You can tell it's a pitiful attempt. Okay. Yeah, that's what I expect given everything else. Again, I don't have any data from before, but judging by your age and what I'm able to tell from Creek once over, it seems like you're the equivalent of at least a decade older, and not a good decade. I'm guessing the blood work's on a show about the same. She goes to the drawer and retrieves the needle. Quietly accept your fate. There's no way out of this. You quietly accept your fate and wait for the needle to pierce your flesh. You'll barely feel it, I promise. She inserts the needle. She was wrong. You definitely feel it. But it doesn't last long. The needle slides back out quickly and she puts a cotton ball in a tiny hole in your skin, pasting a band-aid over top to seal in your vital juices. There, see? That's all we had to do. Not bad at all. She found the vein first time and it actually gave up some blood, because yeah, I have to get semi-regular blood checks due to being on thyroxine, and yeah, my body doesn't like giving up bloods, it turns out. Alright, that's all we can do for now. That makes my name Bloodied kind of ironic. I'll make sure to notify you when I get the results, and I'll send them to your GP. You do have a regular doctor back home, right? I don't have health insurance. I see. Well, I'll give you a copy and hold on to one for my records, I suppose. You should look into getting some kind of health insurance. Even something off the marketplace is better than nothing. Especially since she glances at your newly aged face. Probably going to want to start getting regular checkups. You're free to go. You know how to find the door. She starts busying herself with cleaning equipment. She's distracted, at least for a few minutes. Antagonistic doctor roleplay, ASMR. Good, your appointment's done. You're free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You've been caught by the pull of the object. An overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. You've been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Turn on the lights. The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Bloodied? He squints, seemingly unsure whether you're the same person he met yesterday. What are you doing in the morgue? You haven't seen Stella around, have you? She's been missing since last night. I haven't. I think you'd find her in the morgue. Words seem distant to you. Tongue is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of look possessed for a second. Okay, what the Jesus. Okay, that's like the opposite of ASMR. You kind of looked possessed for a second there. You good? You can understand. There's some kind of magic shit going on, man, but it's telling me I need to get behind that wall. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency act somewhere upstairs. I'll just get the dark out of your hair. Should take 2 seconds. Oh, out of our hair. Sounds great. Lead the way. Sweet, be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanour replaced with uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear a soft voice filtering into the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom? He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can keep some juice down. Looks like we're all out, though. Really? Let's pick some up. I'm not to run on Main Street anyway. I'll pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale, too. That'd be awesome. Sorry to ask, I know you're probably busy. No, it's no problem, it doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lay in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up, we don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. Well, there's emergency fire exits, so it should be pretty obvious where it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's go to the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. Don't see an accent here. You're right. I guess your glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records with your family's name on them. Ooh. He stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Stella's death certificate because of death, sleep apnea, discovered by her daughter Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum. I wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. I feel like that was forbidden knowledge. Death certificate. Edwardine Scarlet, born April 9th, 1913, died February 12th, 2003, age 89, cause of death heart failure, signed by her daughter Pearl Ann Scarlet. Pretty normal, was 90, died of a normal person illness. Enoch Scarlet, born September 9th, 1887, died August 20th, 1957, age 68, cause of death, fall from cliff. Some of the coroner's report attached. Organ sustained impact injuries, lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from great height. Oh, autopsy report. It's ancient. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlett, born May 24th, 1890, died 1918, age 28, cause of death, crushed in mine collapse, body not recovered, signed by his brother Enoch Scarlett. Joseph Scarlett, Born April 1914, died June 7, 1944. Lewis Scarlet, born August 1920, died June 6, 1944. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. Must have been Edward Dean's brothers. Subject of fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet, was delivered April 3rd, 1945, stillbirth. Mother, Edward Dean Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth. No doctor present. Home burial. Alexandra Scarlet, born July 12th, 1946, died August 20th, 1957, aged 9, missing, presumed dead, signed by mother Edward Dean Scarlet. Alexandra, the owner of the doll, as she went missing. Mary Bell Scarlet, born April 3rd, 1947, died October 30th, 1963, aged 16. Cause of death, complications during childbirth, signed by her mother Edward Dean Scarlet. Oh, it's a case to live. Reese's eyes look up to the doorway, and a second later you sound the front door handle being turned. He's on your shoulder before you've registered what's happening, and you're pushed back over to the back view of the front door. Shit, I'm not supposed to be in here, we gotta hide. He hurries to the closet door, motioning you inside. You slip inside and squish yourself into what little space is available in the nearly full closet. Reese is close on your heels. Let him in. You let him in. Together you listen as the doctor makes her way into some room deeper into the clinic. In the silence of the tiny closet, every breath seems too loud, as if you expect Dr. Kelly to hear it from wherever she is across the house. Better wait a second, just in case. You wait for the door to the back of the closet, avoid being seen through the small slit in the door. Two of you stand in tense silence, both crowded into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if you could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. The footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. The footsteps return, and they get louder, approaching the open office door, and then they stop. Much to your relief, she opens another door, leaving the main clinic. You're in the clear. Probably only got a minute or two before she comes back, so let's make it count. Medical supply room's probably our best bet. The other room in the clinic's like to have a fire exit. It's probably the room full of chemicals. This way. He motions you down a hallway, slipping through the slightly ajar door that you assume to be the supply room. Yes, there it is. Keys. Here we go. He rushes over to the cabinet that contains a bright red fire axe, pulling the glass door open. Your axe. Now we can... Reese pauses, turning to listen intently. That was a door from the house. Come on, if we hurry, we can get you back downstairs. On interference, go downstairs, quick. You can hear her approaching now. Floorboards creaking in the hallway on the other side of the office. You follow Reese's instructions, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right, we did already have juice, just in the back of the fridge. Well, there's no harm in having extra. When you were doing the clinic, I thought I told you to go get rest. Oh, I was just going to chill in the morgue. I've got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds down there, it's just music. I'm sure to put in there blows the rental of industrial clanging you listen to. No, I'm the biggest fan of you spending your time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. You should at least have a blanket this time. Yeah, I'll be fine. Just change of scenery. Feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door at the top of the stairs close, and the sound of Reese ascending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. You listen to music that sounds like a wall being broken down? Of course I do. I'm sad all the time. Oh, awesome. My taste in music is finally coming in handy. It's exactly the cover we need. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Let's do this. How about it? You're at the far end of the morgue, practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance. There's some structure behind it, some wooden frame holding it in place, trying to stand between you and what waits for you on the other side. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your effort. Holy shit. The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep in the side of the cliff, cold seeping from the forgotten passageway into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back here. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing running away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Oh, you okay? You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, watered down and heavily eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. You know, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. You know, what am I going to do? Nonsense, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. Doing my own research. Not an alternative. You don't have to worry about anything from here on out. I promise. I went to talk to the witch. The witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorientate yourself. You're on an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hellraiser poster, good taste, that man. Hey, I was wondering you slipped into a coma or something. Tore down a wall like a wild animal. And some mid-carving collapsed. You might have had some kind of seizure? Are you okay? I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have this sometimes. I have them a lot as a teen. It's just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. I think the carvings are trying to warn me about something. My family has dark secrets. If something like yours, I believe it. It's all ancient history, though. Nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? Nope, nothing. Just fell down, twitched a little, and you seemed stable. I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. No problem. I figured you'd rather wake me in bed than a musty hallway. Or the morgue. Is Dr. Kelly at time here? Oh, I snuck you back into the house when she was busy in the medical storage room. I figured you wouldn't want to come to in the morgue. We should probably get going. Stella's still missing, and the stone here finally stopped yelling at me. A little tricky. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine, and she is not happy about it. Went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here, and we just have to wait her out. You locked your door? It's just a precaution. I don't think I can underestimate her at this point. For the first time in a while, I don't feel like roadkill, and I'd rather keep it that way. Indeed, I'm down here and forcing any medicine on me. God knows what to do to keep you quiet. Were we supposed to get out? We just had to figure out a plan. We could take her, but who knows what she has at her disposal. It's memories. There's thought they were dreams or hallucinations. Now I'm not so sure. I think she'd used tranquilizers on me. Other times when I've gotten too unruly for her. Not much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the length she's willing to go to keep me under her control. I'll wait until she's asleep. At least get out of the basement and we can figure out what to do from there. Why didn't you take your medicine exactly? It makes me feel like shit. I was fine yesterday until the doctor made me take my pills, and I was fine all day today. No harm in going a day without, right? Now I'm not taking it. It's like these weird little memories have come rushing back. Bad memories. I don't think the doc's a good person. I don't think she wants me to be healthy. I don't think she wants me to see people. But I'm waking up to the truth. I don't think we're only going back. For either of us. Well, it's kind of a distraction until it's safe to live. I think it's not a good idea. Can we tell I'm getting a little jittery? Doesn't feel awful, to be honest. So we've got something to kill. We could always watch a movie. I'm into horror movies, as you can probably tell. It's been so long since I had somebody over to watch one with me. I believe I owe you a showing of She No She Death Blood. He gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets too much to you. I'm a great judge of how other people react to the sort of thing I watch. I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time, with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course, the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of other movies, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to simulated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth in narrative I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. Can't believe we're able to just do things from here on out. Like, watch movies with another person. Or talk to people. Ever. He has very pointy ears. I've just noticed that. Knew the difference in energy now. Reese hasn't had his daily dose of medicine. He's encouragingly chatty. I'm not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we have to get out of this basement. That's true. Shouldn't be getting my chickens. Just let her pass the woman upstairs. He tenses, his back straightening, his muscles clenching as he's reminded of the obstacle. Hopefully we can just wait her out. Not. Rail is off. But his features soften as he once again immerses himself in the film. The man on the screen yells portents of doom at the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. These little distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together do you realise some fundamental horror about the universe. And then that horror sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in its truest sense. Why does that look like a vampire fang? Oh my god, is he a vampire? Reese is becoming very animated. Probably safe to assume he's dealing with all of extra adrenaline right now. What with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. Or he's a bipolar depressive. But he's also talking over the movie. Enduring movies is fine. Just sorry if I'm talking about Miss Jitterwick's little terrifying thing. She's up there right now. The knock on the window. Bloodied. Don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. Voice. I know that voice. That who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the window. Look, freak, that grass is shatterproof. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. In God's house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. What do you mean? Wayne isn't going to hurt you. He doesn't hurt anyone. Yes, he will. He's furious with me. Can't you hear it? I'm not weak anymore. I'll fight back. I have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. Get both of us bloodied. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. The fuck? Leave us alone! In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. It manifests, the broken window wall is slid up, Wayne along with it. Run for the fucking stairs. You've seen enough to know you need to leave. You run up the stairs. The door's blocked by a chair, and then it's blocked by something else too. Try and tear through them. You toss the chair out of the way and do your best to tear through the substance covering the door. It reforms and regenerates too quickly for you to claw your way through. Defeated, you turn back to the basement. The remainder of Reese's paintings await their artist's command. Okay, stay right there. I can take care of this, and she won't be able to hurt anyone anymore. I'll be right back. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. You dial your cousin, stop it. Yeah, fuck it, we'll call Tabitha. I'm sure she can just sort this out. What mess have you gotten yourself into now? I'm at the clinic. I think Dr. Kelly is in danger. There's a monster on the loose. But don't move a muscle. I'm coming to get you. Your cousin hangs up the phone. Yeah, I'm not sure who to help at this point because this has gone bonkers. You make your way out the door that beckoned you yesterday. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster, preparing to do something unthinkable. Open the door. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! Duck! You do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air to hit Reese. He pulls a tranquilizer dart out of his chest, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're gonna have to try harder than that, you Oh, how did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between cracks in the wood, Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Man after Dr. Kelly. You run forward, braving the onslaught of the smears, dodging them as best you can as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Bloodied. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What the hell is your son, ma'am? I wish I knew. He was finally hit puberty. Looks like raising a teen was going to be a bitch, but they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. Get to the medical storage room. She asks the axe, we're fucked. She turns back around. You turn back around and head to the medical storage room. I'm here. Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labelled carfentanil. Air tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh? Doc? Good. You should hear this. Bloodied, you don't have to do anything she says. Not gonna hurt anybody else. Just her. don't, you and I both know she's just gonna shoot me full of 11 tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement. Or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's done from me. I'm not gonna let you kill someone, Reese. Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. She knows those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me. Does she care? Trust me, Reese, I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance, and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist. Don't try to spin it like some kind of crime of passion. Now the consequences are staring you in the face. Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Grab the tranquilizers. You do as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find. Mark the small square of black tape to match the key. Certainly an organised woman. Head for the safe room. Make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint sealing it shut. Hurry, I just can't keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. Probably have a few minutes before he gets here. You didn't walk me to the door after my exam earlier. You must have known I might have gone looking for something. Why didn't you make me leave? He sighs. Something about keeping a secret for so long. Makes you paranoid. It makes you do things you know objectively wrong to maintain the illusion of your life. It isolates you. At some point, you just don't want to be alone anymore. Do you realize it or not? So you get sloppy. You leave things around you shouldn't. That destructive little part of you wants to test the limits of how obvious you can be before someone is able to put two and two together. I'm not blind. I can see the things that are happening in Scarlet Hollow. Unusual things. I guess subconsciously I must have decided if there was ever a time to let someone else in, it'd be now. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead. I have nothing left to hide. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, and a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Checked out by a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. We had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. Nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and a few facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. He was scared. I'd see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, maybe a hallucination. But the second time it wasn't as subtle and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure it was something beyond my realm of expertise. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. I've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosage so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now, there's only so much I can do to control him. Is his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps into Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. This just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I just got into these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. But then all of a sudden my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, peace. What is he? First I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Sulfur doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him when he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison is not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I'd been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Yeah, that was probably fucking Sybil, wasn't it? How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. Yeah. It's not like he's usually a violent kid, he's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads. That's usually when this side comes out. Imagine if this happened every time he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. Don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. Is he a sweet kid most of the time? Absolutely. Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Didn't mean he didn't go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of, so it is my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. I'll just leave it at fucking that, because there's no... What's the game plan? Both short and long term. Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, and I lock him in here, and I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. There has to be some other way. This is just going to make him feel trapped. Sure is, especially since I'll have to isolate him even more now he knows what's going on. He is going to hate me. But you gotta work with what you've been given. And what I've been given is an ethical dilemma where I either let my son kill me, freeing him to go out and kill others, or imprison him for the rest of his life and force-feed him poison to keep him controllable. Or the third option, kill him. I've decided which outcome I can live with. Well, Reddit, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. I've no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. What is this room? Old X-ray room, lead walls. After I realised this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. And it only came in handy. I'm not flirting with her. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to the safe room. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh boy. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers, this is our shot. Oh my god, I could try and seduce him. Oh my god! I could try and do that. But it would probably get me No, I must do it. I must try and use my sheer, raw sexual power to stop him. You step forward. She's only doing this to protect herself. Show her you're not a monster. Back down. But she's... stammers. There's an actually stretched mouth struggling with the words. For God's sakes, Bloodied, get away from him! He stares up at the woman in the doorway behind you. There's something pained in his expression beyond the rage he feels for her. Reese's gaze returns to you. Sadness in his eyes. I'm not... monster. And then a shot rings out. Oh my God, Tabitha, no! What have you done? Shotgun in hand, your cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on Reese's writhing body. What the hell are you doing, Bloodied? Get away from that thing! Tabitha, what are you doing here? Stop it, let me sedate him. We can deal with this non-lethally. Hey, Reese. You step forward, filling the space between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face trying to stitch itself back together as he sits propped against the wall. Out of my way, Bloodied. Don't kill him. He's just confused. Back off, Tabitha. This is none of your business. Let me handle this. Oh, sure, because you were doing such a good job. That thing was about to eat my cousin. That thing is my son, Miss Scarlet, and despite appearances, he is still human. Don't talk about him like he's some wild animal. Quick, Bloodied, he's fixing himself. You don't know what you're doing. Get out of the way, or I have to make you. The threat is interrupted as Reese scrambles past you, knocking Tabitha's gun to the side and stumbling down the hall towards the entrance to the clinic and the freedom beyond. What in the ever-loving? He pauses for a second, staring longing back at you at his almost unruined face. And then he's gone, his smears leaving with their creator. Shit! The three of you charge down the hall after him. But he's long gone. The door to the clinic hanging open, the night beyond seemingly empty. Great job, Bloodied. You set a monster free on the populace. Just got me the tranquilizers, this would have all been over by now. He can learn to live like this if you just let him. Or he might run around and start eating people. I don't know. Maybe Bloodied was right to protect him. Maybe I've been contributing to all this. The two of you should leave. He left behind quite a mess for me to clean up, and I need some time with my thoughts. Not a word of this to anyone, or there will be hell to pay. Tabitha grumbles. Come on, Bloodied, let's go. The two of you make your way to the bottom of the hill, where Tabitha's car is parked among the sleepy houses of Scarlet Hollow's residential street. She places her gun in the trunk and turns to face you. You're alone right now. Stella still missing? I tried calling her a couple of times, but I kept getting her stupid voicemail. Yeah. The two of you are interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. It's the militia. They've poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. What in the... You were looking for Gretchen, weren't you? We found her and her person. They're by the side of the road a little ways through the wood. Both fine, but the human wouldn't leave and we tried to make her, and Gretchen's insisting on sticking by her side, so we have to take you to them. Hopefully you can use your people words to get her to someplace safe. We're crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. Why do these dogs look so serious? We should get in the car before they eat us. They found Stella. Come on, we have to follow them. How do you know that? Did you know? I can talk to animals and animals can talk to me. Why are you cracking jokes right now? I don't know about following a strange dog into the woods, but if there is a chance, you are right. Okay, we'll take a quick detour. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to Stella. Before long, the trees thin and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there they are. Keep them safe. You see, you speaker. They leave. There, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. You watch her from the underbrush. Wait, she's alive. Let's go. I'm gonna go talk to her. You take a step forward, gravel crunching under your feet as you walk along the edge of the road. Tabitha hangs back, crouching in the bushes, trying to stay unseen. You sit on the log beside Stella. Bloodied, that ghost really did a number on you. You're not that bad. But I was kind of distinguished. You look extremely distinguished. I was just surprised is all. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? Stella faces you for a moment. Desperate eyes trying to force out words a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud. And then she turns back to the road. This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It just rained. The sun was finally coming out. Oh. Oh, fuck. Alright. Now that's probably a bummer to talk about. Awful. Really messed me up for a while. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after the accident that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. So it hasn't been like that for a while. God. Never talked about this stuff before. With anyone. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. You have nothing to be sorry about. I should have talked to somebody. Shouldn't have just run off. Tried to be there for me the entire time I've known you. Should have just let you in. But if it's not too late, I want to let you in now. Two of you stare out at the road. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. Never found anything, so I eventually gave up. Then last night happened. And I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again. Or seeing them all messed up and dead. Just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. They're probably somewhere better than whatever hell Charlie got trapped in. I hope you're right. a lot about what might come after. Whether they're somewhere else, or if they just stopped existing. Guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. I hope that means there's a good version too. Where they're still on that long car ride, listening to Dad's tapes. Place in the back seat for me when I eventually catch up to them. And then it won't matter that I never got to say goodbye. You could always say goodbye now. Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. It'll be fine. Be silent again, as if waiting for a response. But it never comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. I kind of felt better. I don't think I realised how much I'd kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap, tags jingling in the quiet night air. I know that stretch. That's a time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you, Bloodied, for talking sense into this girl. I should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. She doesn't need to hear about this tonight, yeah. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself. At least for now. I can walk with you through the woods so you don't get lost. And I guess you should probably get back to Tabitha before you give her an aneurysm. And this is me. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. It's time for you to get home. He appears, as if out of nowhere. Closed street is what at first looks like blood and gore, but you just quickly realise it's paint. Evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. Thanks. I appreciate the company. Shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you, in near complete silence. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time. But I like him. You shouldn't have gotten attached. I don't suspect he's long for this world. Even if I don't put him out of his misery, someone else will, eventually. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do not feel the ties that bind us. They are unbreakable. Continue in silence. You continue in silence back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to a town. Tabitha won't be around. Too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. And you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. The estate feels empty. Wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You think for a moment about calling Oscar, but you're just too tired to even bother. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, out in the woods somewhere, truly free for the first time in his life. And then you think of nothing. This is the end of episode 4. Okay, follow on social media, stay up to date with the rest of the skin. Oh, yeah, there's crowdfunding until December the 12th of a limited edition Wayne plush. Yeah, wow. The Discord. Oh, that's just opened a thing I can't show you. Close that. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, cool. Save that. Right. Yeah, so there you have a Discord. You can join that. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, this literally just came out. Chapter 5 will be out at some point next year. They have now said it's probably going to be somewhere in 2024 that it finally finishes, because there are 3 chapters left, one each day, and it's supposed to be 7 days, so 5, 6, 7 left to do. But yeah, rest assured, as soon as the next chapter comes out, I will be playing it, because this game is so good. Probably going to do some non-recorded playthroughs with some of the other traits, just to see some of the different stuff that can happen, because there does seem to be a lot of variation around. But yeah, I fucking... this game is so good. This game is so good. And yeah, like, episode 3 was a Wham episode. This is like Whamageddon, dodging Last Christmas level of amazing. Right, but yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, click the little notification button. You can find me various places on the internet via my link tree, which I will pop in the description. And of course, you can always find me at thecultofteaanddice.net, who themselves are on Twitter at cultteaanddice. But yeah, cool. See you later. Bye bye.